So something that is a great energy reducer for Penny is a flirt pole. You can see John is playing with her with that. It's like a big old stick, has a rope on it, a little toy at the end, and we can move it around and she'll run after it and she can jump and all that stuff and kind of get that energy out. So we always aim to do something like this before we actually start our walk, because it makes the walk go a little bit more smoothly, at least the beginning of it. And it's just really, really helpful, especially on the days where maybe you can't get out for a walk, right? Because it might, whatever's going on, schedule, maybe you don't feel good, whatever the case may be, you can kind of get out here and play this. She does like to play the tug of war with it, and you have to kind of you have to kind of fight her to get it back when she gets it. But she really does love it. Now, another thing, we don't have it out here with us right now, but if you have a couple of pieces of food in your pocket for this moment right here, you can just place a little piece of food on the ground, like, hey, get the food. It'll distract her. You can also use another toy, and I'll show you. So John's going to pick up this ball. See if you can, there we go. Boom. And then you can get her to kind of release that way, and then you can restart the game. So you can have, you know, a couple of toys in your pocket, a couple of balls in your pocket, or a little bit of food. Throw the food down on the ground, or distract her with another toy. And there she goes. Boom.
Toro. Toro, toro, toro. Come get it. Are you tired?
Show off that running. So as you can see, you can really get her going and really get her running, really get her running after that. And again, this is a really, really good energy reducer for days you're days you're unable to get out for a walk, but especially if you're doing a walk, I highly suggest doing something like this. If you just Google flirt pole for dogs, you'll be able to find them really easily. There's a bunch on Chewy. This one right here that we have currently is not my favorite one. I bought it to try this one out, and I don't like it as much as I do the normal one that I buy. It has a metal stick and then the rope with the toy. One of the reasons why I don't prefer this one over the other one is because that rope is not stretchy. So the other one that I like is basically a PVC pipe kind of deal, and then the rope, it's like a bungee cord, so it stretches. So it stretches, and that's a really good example. So sometimes if she catches it, the best thing to do is just to let go and let her have it, because just like that, because you know, we don't want anybody getting pulled down. So if she kind of makes that contact, we just kind of let it go and we can restart the game, but that way nobody's getting pulled down too hard, because that can happen with a flirt pole with any dog. You know, we're getting into the heat of the moment. Yeah, good jumping. We're getting into the heat of the moment, playing, things happen, you know. She's not trying to, absolutely not trying to, but it can happen. So usually if they get it kind of in a jump like that, we just let it go. If they get it when it's just kind of on the ground and it's not going to be such a knee-jerk reaction, then we'll hold on to it. But you can see now she's a little tired. So after this, we're going to do our walk, and it'll make the beginning of the walk much, much smoother. Okay, so if we're able to do something to kind of help reduce that energy, our walks, especially in the morning, go much smoother. If we don't, then we have to spend more time kind of doing that warm-up of turning around. Hey, yeah, girl. Right now I just have her kibble. We're just using that since her stomach is too sensitive for anything else. Yes. Good job. Now, if we don't do that energy reducer beforehand,
She's much more liable to pull really, really, really hard. It's more controlled, but we have to work hard. This way. We have to work harder to kind of get her to a spot where she can engage and listen a little bit better for the actual walk. Girl. So in those moments, if she's doing that, then we do these turns. And I always tell her before we actually make the turn. That way I give her a chance to make a good decision before she's kind of forced to. Heading this way. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. You can turn away or you can turn into her. I find turning away is a little bit easier. Honey, this way. This way. Hey, good girl. Good girl. Yes. Good. Yeah. Good girl. And I'm not too worried if she's a little out in front like that, as long as we're not being pulled. So like right now we're starting to get pulled a little bit too much, and we'll see if she'll fix herself. Good girl. Good. Yes. Yes, buddy. Yes. You wanna go sniff? Since she's being good, I'm gonna go ahead and let her come sniff over here. Now in the morning, you can, instead of feeding her in that bowl, you can just put the food in a little bag and take it with you for the walk. That way we're not over, oh, whoa, what was that? What was that? Oh. We're not gonna overfeed her or anything like that. Thank you.
She might have to go potty too.
You need to go potty? What's this? My only guideline for her is that she is not yanking our arm out of its socket and that she is not pulling us any which way. I give her plenty of opportunities to stop and sniff. That is one of her rewards, is being able to stop and sniff at things. So if she is trying to drag me over to a spot, then generally we're gonna move. No. Right, nope, leave it. Leave that. We don't want that. Whatever that is, we don't want it.
No, Penny.
Thank you. All right.
Good girl.
Good job. We're getting a little bit too feisty here. This way. Penny, this way. Good girl. Good. In those moments that she is pulling, we're not doing a huge yank and crank. We are barely moving. So I just kind of move. There we go. Until she's has less tension on this leash. Penny, this way. This way. Yeah, good girl. And sometimes we have to work a little bit harder for that engagement. That's okay. Oh, we got a bus. Come. Penny, this way. Penny, can you sit? Where are they going up? Thank you, good girl. good. She did a stop and stay for that entire time. We have a little dog barking over here at us that she is interested in. Leave it. Thank you. Leave it. Yep, leave it. Leave it. Thank you. Good. No, ma'am. Come on.
Distractions do sometimes cause us to have to take a step backwards, but it's usually pretty recoverable with her.
I keep forgetting that there's french fries on the ground right there.
That's a distraction.
Leave it.
She's gotten a lot better about honing it back in after she gets distracted. There's just a lot of distractions right now. Birds and all kinds of stuff.
Good. Good girl. Thank you. Yes.
Good girl. So when she starts pulling and she's not listening, just don't let her go anywhere until she stops and looks at you.
Yes. Good.
And that's her checking in with you. That's what we're looking for. That's her asking you what you want to do next.
Thank you. Good. Good girl. Good. Good girl, Penny. Good. Now, for the sake of this video, we're only kind of staying right here. But normally, we're walking down and we're walking down the whole, around the whole block. And this is generally what we look like most of the time. What was that? But every now and then, even if she's being real good and not pulling, I'm going to go, Betty! Yay! Good girl! Good! It just helps build that engagement with us. Good job. Good girl. Birds. Leave it.
Good girl, Penny.
Birds are distracting. They're so distracting. Good. A lot of critters this morning. A lot of critters this morning.
Penny got a back wiggle when she walks.
All right. Good girl, thank you. Can you stop?
So this is what the
Yes.
exercise before you take her out for a walk, the play and train or whatever you choose to do to kind of get energy out of her. This is what that accomplishes. She's much more manageable. She's much more accepting of what we're trying to get her to do that way. I'm gonna come over to your side.
Penny. Yep. Good girl. Okay.
All right.
job. Good. So, it does take a little work to get her to that point where she is more manageable in these walks. But here's the thing, if we are super, super consistent about trying to continue building these really good habits that we've kind of set the foundation for. Hey, I'll leave that. Thank you. By the time she gets out of this teenager phase, we have spent this time building those good habits, and her energy is automatically kind of calmed down once she leaves that teenager phase and gets more into the adult brain, just like the humans. Just like the humans, when we're teenagers, we're kind of impulsive. We don't always make the best decisions. We're wild, we're full of energy, we can stay up all night and keep going the next day, all that stuff, and then we turn into adults and it's not the same. It's not the same. So it's kind of like the same with them. Not going up anybody's driveway. Feel like you gotta poop.
Yeah.
You have to poop. She will, I've noticed, get like extra defiant and extra bully if she has to poop, especially. So in those moments where it seems like she is just kind of wild and out, try to find a spot. Try to find a spot for her to poop. Well, I'm not going too deep into this one. That's about as far as I'm
Might be
willing to
some
go
snakes
with it.
in there. Let's go over here.
Huh?
Let's go over here into the grass.
You poop? Oh, good girl.
Good girl, Penny.
Yeah, it's potty. You need to poop?
Puppies are always cataloging smells.
Head back this way. This way. You gonna do it? Are you gonna poop?
Huh? What's happening? We'll pause here. And we're back.
Not that way. This way. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, mosquitoes. Oh. Thank you. Good girl. Good girl, my foot.
It's an interesting street, isn't it, Penny?
Good girl. Good, Penny. Penny, sit. Okay. Good job. Good girl. Get tired. Come on. Got to show your mama a little bit more of what you can do when we get to the house, and then we'll be done. Come hold the leash. Good girl. Penny, stay. Yes, stay. Okay. Good girl. Penny, come. What's he sniffing? Good. Sit. Where are you going? Oh. Stay. Yes, stay. Okay. Come. Yeah, good girl.
There's the recall.
Sit. Yes, yeah, good tired.
Tired dog's a good dog.
Penny, stay. Penny, come. Come, 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 come. Yeah, good girl. Yes, good girl. Awesome. 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 All right. And so, you want to get back to the shade? I got you, girl. So, the big things about Penny is the morning walk and the morning activity are the most important. I did a little scientific test, and there was a day where I walked around in the morning, a day where we did 2 walks, one in the morning, one in the evening, and then a day where we did no walks. The day where we did no walks is coincided with the days that we had a rougher day with her, where she was wild and out, really trying to push all the boundaries.
Wouldn't
all that
listen to
stuff.
anything.
Wouldn't really listen, would get overstimulated so fast, and we would lose any little inkling of listening and engagement that we even had. If you start off with a good morning activity and that walk, even if just that one sets your day off really, really well with her, and she's much more apt to listen and engage and be much calmer throughout the day. Even better though, if you can do the 2 walks. The morning walk is the one that you have to spend more time with generally. The evening walk, especially if you did that morning walk, usually goes much quicker as far as not having to do as much warm up. It goes quicker and a little bit more smoothly because she's had that morning walk and then kind of all day of whatever we've been doing. So that's one of the main things, and I think the biggest piece of advice that I can give you about Penny is that morning activity and that morning walk is super, super important. Generally followed up with some obedience training after that walk. Now, I know right now somebody can say, well, of course she's going to stay, she's tired, but for Penny, that is the way we have to practice it until it's set in stone, because beforehand, she is not open to listening to it, right? So we have to get her to a point where she is kind of tired, because then she will listen so much better. Even in the moments where she's not like flopping down like this, where she's like, oh, I'm just so tired. We've had shorter walks that didn't also come with the play beforehand. And even when she was a little bit peppier, I think we got it on video one day and showed you when she was a little bit peppier, we were doing a sit-stay. So this is not just because she's tired, it is because she's actually able to listen and ingest what we're saying to her, which beforehand, it is very hard for her to listen and ingest what we are actually saying.
Like anxiety,
So,
blocking clear thoughts.
in that morning time, if we can get this physical exercise and physical enrichment met, plus also the mental, the rest of the day goes much smoother. So that's the biggest thing that I've learned about her. And she's a really sweet dog. She's a wild dog, but she's very, very sweet. And I hope all of this has been helpful for you, and I hope that everything works out. So have a great day. Bye.